welcome to 2026. Hi everybody, welcome to a new year and a new blog here on the Crochet Luna channel. My name is Claudia and I'm coming to you from the San Diego area in Southern California. And this is the first week of 2026. I am happy to be recording this video on Friday, January 2nd. I hope you guys all had a great New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, whatever it is that you did. I told my husband on January 1st in the morning that I felt like I had survived the purge because I went to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning because I was babysitting my dog, my German Shepherd, my beautiful Dottie, who is so terrified of fireworks that she has managed to break through a glass window one year, break through a wooden gate during fireworks during July last year. And even with her sedation medication that I have requested from her vet, she just is terrified. So someone always has to stay up with her until things calm down. This year, it was until 2 o'clock in the morning. I usually make a bed for her in our shower because her favorite spot to go is in the shower stall where she feels safest. And so I put blankets in our shower stall and she'll lay there and go to sleep. I tried every year I try something different for her. And this year it was a kind of like, think of a really tight cowl, but it goes over the dog's ear. I should have taken a picture of her wearing it. It looked ridiculous. So you're supposed to tug their ears down and then you put this thing over their head so that it keeps the sound to a minimum. And it worked, I think, for the first hour or so. And then she had just so freaked out by the sounds or whatever it was that she was hearing that she just kept taking it off. And so finally I just took it off and I was just kind of like monitoring her where she was moving to. And I must say it rained a lot on New Year's Eve. And I thought the rain was going to be something that would help with the fireworks. It didn't. People still set off fireworks. I don't know how they were doing that in the rain, but they still set them off. It still freaked her out. And so come January 1st, I felt like I had survived the purge because the sun came up and I was like, oh, we made it another year. It was just, it's such a crazy thing that we have to help her out with every 4th of July and every New Year's Eve. It's like the same thing. And she does have prescription medication for anxiety and to keep her calm, but it just, it helps, but it doesn't completely like knock her out or anything. And I wouldn't really want that anyway, but anyway. So welcome to 2026. Let me show you the mug of the blog. We're starting off this year with this beautifully handmade, it's like a little acorn top. And I've got my tea in there. I'm enjoying a nice cup of just green tea tonight. I got a haircut. I haven't really styled it. I mean, it was just kind of like cut and go type thing. And I like the length. I think it looks good. I think once I get some product in it and I style it, it's going to be, it's going to look better. For those of you who are new to my channel, I am going through the grow out process for my gray hair. As you can see, I have a lot of gray hair on top. And I think with this length of hair, if I keep cutting it every 6 to 8 weeks, I might be done with the grow out by the end of the year. So I like it. I like the gray. I don't mind it. Other people seem to mind it way more than I do, and have opinions and feel like they need to tell me about how I shouldn't let my hair go gray because I'm too young for it. But I'm going to leave that in 2025. I'm going to continue with the process. I'm really liking it. I like the haircut, and yeah. So first thing that I did for 2026 is get the haircut. But let's talk about a crafty reset for 2026. I usually, for the past many years, I take the first week of January and I decide whether I'm going to frog or finish projects. And I'm pretty ruthless about it. I don't mind frogging things. I've frogged so many things that have gone back in the stash, and I have never regretted doing that. So I came up with 3 questions that I think can answer whether you might need a crafty reset. Not that I'm telling you what to do. I'm just trying to help us crafters start off the new year on the right foot. So I came up with these 3 questions, and basically because I was asking myself these 3 questions. So question number 1, are you overwhelmed with unfinished projects? Yes, I am. I am right here surrounded by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 unfinished projects. 9. Some go back as far as 3 years ago, 4 years ago, more than that. And I thought I would go over these projects with you and tell you what I've decided to frog and what I've decided to finish. But maybe that's a question that you can ask yourself too. Reasons for frogging a project for me, especially because my gauge changes. It can change from week to week. And I feel like if these projects have been sitting for too long, my gauge is going to be way off. Now, if it's a shawl, I might not care. But if it's a garment, I'm definitely going to care because I know that that gauge has changed. So I think that's one of the reasons to frog a project. Another one would be because you no longer are in love with the yarn. I mean, it happens. I've been there. I've been there where I've started working with a yarn that I liked, and then I put the project to the side, and then I come back to it, and then I'm like, no, I don't want to finish that. I don't want to put the time into it. So maybe you fall out of love with the yarn. Maybe the fit isn't right anymore. You know, maybe it's too big or too small, whatever. The fit is just not going to be there. Why spend the time finishing a project only to know that you're not going to wear it, right? Okay, question number 2 is, are you having a hard time finding your crafting tools? I had that happen to me during Vlogmas. I could not find a crochet hook, a 3.25 millimeter crochet hook. I know I have many. I couldn't find one. And part of the reason is I had crafting tools in the living room. I have crafting tools in several places here in the crochet corner. I have crafting tools on my desk. And so one of the things that I've decided is I'm going to get all of those tools. And I do have a designated area where I'm supposed to keep my crochet hooks and my tools, but maybe it might be time for a little crafty reset in the sense that you want to gather your tools. At one point, I was thinking about ordering another 3.25 millimeter hook, and when you know you have more than one, it's sort of like a waste of money to try and just get another one because you can't find what you already know you have, right? So that's another question. Third question is, do you have decision fatigue? Vlogmas, Christmas, some of us have been making stuff since September for Christmas gifts, or maybe even further. So by the time Christmas comes along, you have been crafting your little fingers raw, and you might not want to decide, I don't want to make any decisions right now. I don't care about patterns. I don't care about what yarn, but you might still want to be working on a project. So if you are in that mode of you have decision fatigue, it might be time to organize your stash. And let me tell you, I did a little bit of that this week. I have I had a full tub of yarn, because I went through the cubbies and I have a couple tubs of yarn, went through those tubs, and I came up with a full tub of yarn that I donated to my daughter's friend who's a crocheter. And it felt so good. It felt so good to know that that yarn was going to go to a good home, and she was very excited. She even told my daughter some of that yarn was yarn that she'd been wanting to buy, because I threw in a lot of Knit Picks yarn in there. But it may be time to reorganize the stash. Maybe not, maybe you don't, go crazy and organize everything, but maybe, I might hit these two cubbies and organize to see, because I usually like to keep my sock yarn separate from the other fingering weight yarns. Maybe I need to double check to make sure that this is just sock yarn up here. And so one of the other things that happens is when you're reorganizing your stash is that you are finding that maybe you no longer love some of this yarn that you've bought, that maybe you can get rid of it, either destash it, donate it, gift it like I did. And I think it really helps with your creativity when you can have an organized stash, that you can reach in and see exactly what you have. I know for me, what I've tried to do is I've tried to put sweater quantities together, or if I have 2 or 3 of a skein, 2 or 3 of a colorway, to keep those together, because I found like 2 skeins of the colorway in one of the bins, and then 1 skein in the other bin, and it was just like a mess. Like I need to get organized. It fuels your creativity. It might trigger that next project when you see that yarn that you bought a couple years ago that you loved, and now you see it and you're like, okay, that's exactly what I want to make socks out of, or a shawl, or whatever it is. I think organizing the stash, getting the tools together, and auditing our whips is a great way to start the year. Let's start off with FOs. I've got one FO to show you. It's the only thing that I have finished during this holiday season, but I'm happy with that. I was dabbling with a lot of different projects, enjoying the making, and I did start these on December 17th. They were going to be a Christmas gift for my mom. Unfortunately, I was not able to see my parents for Christmas because it rained like cats and dogs, and my parents are not ones that want to be driving in that. So I started them December 17th. I will show you the pattern. It is this pair of fingerless gloves. The maker is cultofcrochet.wordpress.com. That's where you can find this designer, but this pattern I purchased on Ravelry. I will link any patterns I talk about below. Super quick, very quick make. I was using from Stash a skein of Knit by Numbers DK by John Arbin. I believe I showed this in the previous video, and I used this pretty green, it's more like a tealy color. It's not reading very well on camera, but I finished the pair of gloves, and very happy. Super quick pattern. It really is. The only modification I made to these gloves was in the ribbing section. I will show you right now. I just added 2 rows of single crochet down here, with the second row being a decrease, where I believe I decreased like 4 stitches, only because I wanted them to be a little bit more snug in the wrist part, and I just think it gave it a little bit better finish to put 2 rows of single crochet. They fit me like a glove, and I think my mom's hands and my hands are about the same size, so they should fit her as well. Like I said, this pattern is very, very quick. Here are the gloves. They fit very nice. I like this stitch pattern there is no, there's no join line because you work them in a spiral, which I really like. This pattern is very quick to work up. You can finish it in a day or so, depending on how much time you want to put into it. Instructions are very clear. And I went up, I think I did an extra row on 2 sections. Like when you get to the knuckle of the thumb right here, she tells you to add more if you need it, because it needs to come to the knuckle. And then up here, I added 1 more row. That was it. But the pattern explains to you where you can add. It's really simple. Very happy with that. I want to make a pair of for myself. I still have a lot of yarn left. So I might make another one out of the same color because I really like this color. So this is my only FO that I have. And I will be seeing my mom this weekend, tomorrow, and I will be giving these to her as a Christmas gift. So it kind of worked out because it gave me a little extra time to finish her Christmas gift. So now let's move on to my whips. I'm going to start, I think, from the oldest to the oldest to the newest whip that I have. For sure, I know this whip is 3 to 4 years old. And I started doing Christmas. And you know how I know that? Because it's in this gorgeous bag from Fat Squirrel Fibers that I purchased, and it's a holiday bag. So I purchased this bag years ago, and inside is a sweater that I was very, very excited to work on. It is called the Eclectic Jumper by Casey Ward. It's from Inside Crochet Magazine. I don't know. You can find this as a Pattern Ravelry, and I will link it below because I don't know what the issue number is. But you see this jumper here. Okay, I really, really liked it at the time, and I bought all the yarn that I needed, and I changed the color scheme for the sweater, and I finished the first panel. Here's the first panel done, and I started the second panel. So that's where I'm at. This is not going to fit me. This is going to be too big. So this is a pattern that I will be frogging and reclaiming the yarn. I may or may not do it. I don't really care for the design anymore, to be honest with you. It's not doing anything for me, and there's so many other garments that I want to try. I like the different colors. I like the baubles, but the size of this is going to be too big now, and I just don't want to put the time into it to finish it knowing that it's going to be too big. So either I redo it or I use the yarn for something else. But this is a project that is finally going to get frogged, and I will be able to reclaim the cute little stitch marker that's there, a little gummy bear. And look, see, a hook. So I'm going to reclaim that hook, and I will frog this pattern and put away the yarn and put away the bag. So this is definitely going to be a frog situation. The next one is definitely not going to get frogged, and I'm actually going to do a poll on Instagram. I'm going to put 3 projects up, and I'm going to leave it up to you guys to let me know which one to finish, because I have dragged my booty on this one for too long. This project is years old. I want to say 3, 4 maybe. And it is my Knit Collage Corrine cardigan. I purchased the yarn and the pattern. I joined the knit along for this granny square cardigan by, at the time, I think she went off and became a designer in her own right, but she used to design for Knit Collage. I don't remember her name. Vanessa. Her name's Vanessa. I will put her Instagram down here. But here's the granny square, and here is one sleeve. So what am I missing from this? I am missing just one sleeve. Just one sleeve is all I'm missing to finish this. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not in love with this. And that's why I think I haven't finished it. I am not a fan of crocheting with the cotton sari yarn. It's difficult. It was difficult for me to do it. But that's just my opinion. And so let me show you what this mess looks like. The cuff on this is really tight too. So, and there's really, because it's cotton. Okay. So, this is what it looks like. I really can't get on a stool or anything, but it's a little shapeless. And I don't know that it does anything for me, to be honest with you. This is one of those patterns that I would just finish because all I have is a sleeve to do. I just don't know. I just don't know. Like, I'm not getting really anything out of this one. What I did to try and give it a little shape was to add a band of crochet to the bottom. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I added several rows and some of the cotton sari as like a little design element. I added all of this, that's not part of the pattern, to try and give it a shape, because if you don't, it's just a very square garment. And I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna finish it and maybe find a way to style it. And I love the color of the yarn. I love the color of the yarn. I love the granny squares. I just wasn't a fan of crocheting with the sari yarn. I don't know that it lends itself well to it. And it is huge now. It is a huge, huge garment. And yeah, so I'm missing a sleeve. That's all I'm missing to finish this. So I'm going to put this in a poll to see if you guys can help me motivate myself to finish that garment, and then figure out a way to style it so that I can wear it. And I have plenty of yarn, and it is living in this beautiful Tanny Casey bag that was a gift. A long time ago I received this, and again, here is the cotton sari yarn, very pretty. And then I have enough for the sleeve. I've got my knitting needles, a whole notions pouch. Again, see, the thing is, I have things here that I could be using for other projects, and I could be reclaiming this beautiful bag. So I just got to get to it and finish that project. Next up is a pair of socks that I started working on. These were definitely last year, and they are the Blossom socks. Here it is. Here's the pattern. And I have one completed sock. It's so beautiful. One completed sock. My issue with this sock is that it fits like a glove when it's on, but it's really hard to get on. And part of it, I think, is because my cuff is a little tight. But I'm definitely going to work on, I'm not frogging these. I'm going to finish these. I'm working off of a sock blank, a dyed sock blank. Look how gorgeous that is. So I'm definitely going to do the second one. It almost matches this. This is a little bit lighter than this one. It's a little bit more intense. But I love that there's minimal color pooling on this sock. This one I will definitely finish. So that's going to go in the poll that I'm going to put up on Instagram. After you see this episode, I'm going to upload, hopefully this will be up by tomorrow, which is Saturday, December 3rd. And I will put a poll and you guys can help me decide what I need to focus on. Because now that I finished the gloves, I just want to be able to focus on finishing some of these projects. My socks are living in this little project bag that I purchased 1,000 years ago from French Supply Company when they were still in business. I really like the design of it because you can just throw it in your bag and it works great. So that's another whip. Now, for sure, I'm going to finish this. It is my Woolens and Nosh Advent that I purchased this year. This was the only Advent that I purchased, and I love it so much. So, are you ready? I have one finished sock. My first knitted sock. First knitted sock ever. So I can't even tell you how much I enjoyed this. I followed the Crazy Sock Ladies pattern for vanilla socks on a magic loop. I think I have the pattern here. And this pattern is for DK weight vanilla socks. Here it is. But the tutorial that you follow is for her regular finger and weight socks, but it's exactly the same instructions. The only thing that changes is that one uses finger and weight socks, so you have more stitches, and then the DK one, has less stitches because it's DK and a little bit thicker. But this is the pattern that I followed, and her tutorial on YouTube is money. I love it. Had no issues. I mean, look at that. I got a heel. I Kitchener stitched my toe, for crying out loud. Come on. So I've got one done, and I'm definitely going to finish number 2. And I definitely want to purchase this Advent next year. I'm in love with the whole experience. That's what you're buying, is you're buying the experience. Along with having a beautiful sock, you're buying that beautiful experience of knitting a stripe, seeing that color change. It's just so joyful. I loved it. So I'm definitely going to do this again next year. So that's another whip that I have. That's going to go in the poll. And then these two, well, because I have so many whips, I will put 3 up to start with that you can help me choose what to focus on. And then once that's done, then I'll go ahead and put up another poll, and then you can help me with the next 3 projects. Okay, another project that's a frog it or finish it, but definitely it's going to be a frog. No, I will not be frogging this project. It's definitely a finished project. Is my Agnes vest. The Agnes vest is a pattern by Bethany Lynn. It's the Agnes right here sweater vest, and I already have the yarn picked out for my next one because I just love this. Nothing's been done since I last showed this to you. This is it right here. It's got all of its threads hanging out, but this is my Agnes vest. I've done one side of the knitted portion of it because you finish this off with knitting on the armholes, the band down here, the ribbing, and the neckline. So this is definitely one to finish. And I've got all these beautiful ends to contend with, but I love this here. But let me show you the next coloring sequence because I'm so excited. The next coloring sequence. And I'm going to size down on the next vest, so it should be okay. The next coloring sequence for my Agnes vest is going to be this. Super bright, super happy colors. I purchased this yarn a long time ago. It's Vams Rauma. This is the band, the yarn band. I keep wanting to say button band for a lot of things. It's in my head. I don't know why. Just go with it. You know what I mean. So this is the yarn. And I got these 3 colors. Originally, I wanted to make a hat, but I think this has to be an Agnes vest. It's so bright and pretty. I can't wait to get started. Not starting that yet, though. Can't start anything until I finish one of these projects. So that's the Agnes vest. Then I have another crochet project, which is a poncho, and I've also was showing this on Vlogmas. It's my Sands. Oh God, what's the name of this? Sands and Shells poncho. And here is what I have of that. I have not put any more time into it. It's still, look, I didn't even finish that. And I pointed that out last time I showed it. Still haven't finished it. Still haven't finished that row. But I have this one. I'm still going to work on this one. I really like it. I want to see it finished. Love the color. It's just an acrylic from Lion Brand. And it's in the color denim. And I really like it. I think it's going to be pretty. So that one is definitely a finish. Last project, I've never even shown this one. It is living in my Hohi & Co. project bag. I purchased this several years ago. It's that rose gold that's just so beautiful. And I joined her one skein mystery shawl called One Love. Here it is. You can now purchase this on Ravelry. Again, I will link all these patterns below. And I started knitting it. I never even showed this on the videos for Vlogmas, but this is what I have so far. This is clue 1. So I finished clue 1. And it's just a garter. And so because I just started this, I don't know about whether I finish it or not, but the yarn is absolutely gorgeous. It is a yarn that I purchased a long time ago from Woolfolk. It's this yarn right here. And I have enough. I have 2 balls of it. It's just like a beautiful soft white, and I wanted something that I could wear like a neutral color. That's why I chose this yarn color, and I started knitting it. We'll see. I mean, it's one skein, really. I mean, you should be able to. It's a very small shawl, so I think I can do it. I mean, I think I can. And then I purchased these at the SoCal Fiber Fest. These are my little knitting needle covers. I thought those were cute. So yeah, so never even showed that on Blogmas, and I was just trying to focus on the socks, to be honest with you, and some of the other projects, but I have it here. And so those are my only, that's a lot. Those are all the whips that I have, but definitely I need your help to focus on what to finish, and I will put a poll up as soon as the video goes up. You can go to Instagram and you'll see the poll there. I will choose 3 projects. You guys can tell me what I can finish. I also have a new craft that I started. I'm so excited to show you this because I love it. I love it. I have wanted to get into cross stitching for a very long time. And when I went to the SoCal Fiber Fest, I saw a booth that was selling kits and patterns and things like that. I will list it below. And I found, I wanted something very simple and small. And I found this ornament to cross stitch. It's called Frosty Christmas. It's got the little doves, some little presents, and the tree. That's it. And I started working on it. And I'm working from the bottom up. Well, I started here. I came down. I did all this. And then I'm going to go back up. But here's what I have so far. It's really hard to read the white section of it. But in person, you can see it. But I freaking love this. Number one, though, it's very hard on my eyes to cross stitch. Very hard. I'm going to have to get a magnifying tool. Because I wear glasses and my glasses are not enough to help me to look at these tiny little holes. And so I have some readers that I've been wearing to work on this stuff, but I definitely am seeing that I'm going to have the need for a magnifying glass of some kind and a stand to hold my my frame. So in this frame I got at Michael's. This is not a Q-snap. It's not anything expensive. I didn't want to spend a lot of money on a craft that I didn't know whether I was going to love or go, you know what, this is too much for me. So I bought this little frame at Michael's. But my needle minder I got from Maria at A Needle Runs Through It. Look how pretty that is. And that just keeps my needle there. And yeah, this is definitely going to be a finished project. And it's taking, I mean, this is 4 hours with the work. You know how I know that? Because I was watching Dune Part 1 and Dune Part 2. And that's how much I got done. So it's not a lot because I just started learning how to do this. But I love it. Love it. So that's what it's going to look like. That's where we're at. Definitely going to keep working on that because I want to buy all the patterns. I haven't done it. I have this pattern and I have a Halloween pattern that I purchased that I'll work on probably next. But I'm really, really happy with the cross stitching. So that's what I have for the whips and the 1FO. And I'm hoping to be able to focus on one of those whips and get them done so that next time I check in with you, you'll see a finished object. And we're just going to keep going through the list. Will I start a new project? Probably. I'm probably going to start a new sweater because I already have a pattern that I want to do. And it's a combination of knitting and crochet, which is like my thing that I'm on right now. I really am enjoying that whole crochet and knit combo. So I will see you next time. I hope that your crafty year gets off to a good start. Remember that we all craft differently, so don't feel pressured. Like I want you to enjoy your crafting. You do what you want to do, and you manage your crafting space and life and tools and things in a way that make you happy, so that you can craft and keep crafting some more. So until next time, take care, craft with joy, and I will see you later. Bye.